So I like to open our events with the same sentiment every time, and that is LVIMA is for you, and it's also not possible without you. So pat yourselves on the back for coming out early. Turn to your neighbor and thank your neighbor. And give yourselves an extra pat on the back today, because this is a new event format for us. And we know that new and change can be really exhilarating, and it can also be a little scary. So you guys are extra brave for coming today. We think today is going to be all exhilarating, and the only scary part is how much coffee Andrew Fox has had. So we, of course, want to thank iView for not only sponsoring, but they also raised their hand and said, we will trial a new event format with you. And I think we've been working with them every week for the last 3 months to figure out how we could do a workshop that was digestible and easy and fun. And I hope we nailed it. I think we did. We also really want to thank Big Brother, Big Sister, who's our nonprofit partner. When we were crafting this workshop, we thought it would be really hard to use your creative, and we really had to think about what creative or brief that everybody would be interested in working on. And Big Brother and Big Sister volunteered their creative. So we're playing with their stuff today, and I think it'll be really fun and an interesting way for you to learn about Big Brother, Big Sister. We are also not possible without our sponsors, particularly our annual sponsors, Quantcast and iView, and also all of our paid members. So thank you. Make sure to hug them if you see them. And don't forget to share, tag us LVIMA, take lots of pictures. If you noticed all the fun stuff on your table, it's part of the exhilarating part. So I'm expecting to see a lot of really fun photos. Without further ado, I'll bring up Andrew Fox to kick us off.
What if we make video more accountable? What if we could inspire with sight, sound, motion customized to each individual? What if we drove business results with the daily reach of the Super Bowl? What if experts and partners were aligned in these areas? What would happen?
We have a great event planned for everybody today. So what we thought we would do is just sort of run through the day, just to let you know what the next hour or so is going to bring for you. And then I'll talk a little bit about iView and what we do, and then we'll kick things off to the team. So with us today at iView, I'm going to make some introductions. So we have Caitlin Mooney, who's over here. She's our SVP of Sales. We have Cortland Brennan over there. He's our creative director, so he runs all of creative at iView. We have Craig Kessler over there. He's our director of client solutions. So he puts together plans and programs for all of our clients. And then we have Lexa Weeks. Where is she? There you are. All right. She's our client solutions manager, so she works a lot with the day-to-day. So in terms of what's going to happen today, so introductions, something we just did. We're also going to talk a little bit about personalization within the context of video, your mission, why you guys are here today, and what we have planned for you. Then we're going to talk through the exercise and how it went, and then there's going to be a little friendly competition. And we know that this group is very competitive, so we're excited to see you kind of, kill each other. It's good. Okay, and then we're going to have some prizing, and then we're going to talk a little bit about the iView incentive. So what is personalization? Personalization takes many forms, right? And it's actually been around for a really long time. So when you're driving down the freeway and you see a billboard for McDonald's at the next off-ramp, that's actually personalization, right? It's geared for those specific drivers on that specific freeway, and McDonald's is trying to get them into their store, right? And I think personalization has become a little bit of a buzzword, and so we're gonna try to break that down for you today. So the way iView thinks about personalization is, who is my target audience? What am I saying to that target audience? What devices am I running on? So what's my media execution? And then also, how am I measuring it? So how is this media actually becoming accountable to my target audience and to the overall KPI of the campaign? So for those of you that know me, I drink a ton of coffee, and I'm really wired right now. So I'm so sorry if this gets a little bit crazy. Who here drinks coffee? Oh yeah, you guys are my people. So who here likes Starbucks? Okay, probably about half the room. So the reason why I have this Starbucks analogy is because Starbucks actually, at its inception, is all about personalization, right? When you walk into a Starbucks, they're gonna customize your drink. They're gonna give you exactly what you want, how you want, half calf, no calf, decaf, caramel macchiato. I mean, we're talking like whatever you want, and in my case, 5 shots of espresso and milk. So there's a very strong correlation between what Starbucks does and how consumers respond, right? At the end of the day, we as marketers are focused on trying to drive some kind of action from our consumers. And what we say to them and how they experience what we're actually doing is paramount to the success that we are able to drive for the advertisers that we're working with. So we're gonna break all of this down for you today. But before we do, I'm actually going to invite Molly up here. And Molly is from Big Brothers Big Sisters, and she was gracious enough to allow us to use their creative for this exercise today. But ultimately, what you guys will eventually be doing in the course of the next hour could be a campaign for Molly. So when you think about these selections and the things that you're gonna do, think about Molly, think about target audiences, think about what you wanna say to them, and if it will drive action. Molly?
Hi, everybody. Yes, I'm with Big Brothers Big Sisters of Southern Nevada. We are an affiliate of a nationwide organization with the mission of providing children facing adversity with one-to-one mentoring relationships that we case manage and professionally support throughout the life of that relationship. So I want to take one demographic that we know our program can impact. High school graduation rates. How many of you are from Clark County? Anybody know our high school graduation rates here? Yeah, and that's the school district's new way of measuring, about 60%. We typically rate as one of the 3 poorest performing school districts in the country. So there's about 330,000 students in the district this year. And probably 100,000 of them will not graduate on time. In communities of color, graduation rates for males of color drop down to in the 30s, typically, 30 percentile. So if we took high school graduation rates, we know that a kid in our program is 75% more likely to graduate from high school. That now means we are graduating significantly more kids from high school. And how many kids that we can run in our program is a direct function of 2 things: raising money so I can pay the staff to case manage and to recruit the volunteers, and recruiting volunteers. So I'm hoping today that with our very limited rolling stock, I see I learned a new term, rolling stock, that we had available, that maybe you could do something to help us with that. Somebody asked me, how old can a mentor be before they're too old? We know that nationally, mentoring relationships in our organization involving adults over the age of 60 are the most successful match relationships we have. In our market, we do tend to get a lot of 30-somethings. A lot of people come here for careers, and they don't have family here, and they're looking for positive social engagement and ways to give back to the community and form lasting bonds that doesn't involve sitting in a bar, as we're in a bar at 8 o'clock in the morning. So I really want to thank you very much for doing this. I was excited when LVIMA I was excited when LVIMA chose us to be their nonprofit partner this year, and then to be able to come to events like this. How many of you went to the artificial intelligence workshop at R&R? I learned stuff. It was a new language, but I learned stuff. And it will help me manage data when we do things like our annual end-of-year appeal. And so thank you, because I learn stuff every time I come here. And now I'm introducing Cortland from iView. And these poor iView folks, some of them are from this time zone, some are not, Chicago, and some are even further away, New York. So they don't know when they're supposed to go to sleep. But so be kind to them, okay? So thank you, Cortland.
Thanks very much. How you guys doing? So before I get started, everybody on their table, they have a sign-up form to kind of add in their email, their team names. If you guys could fill that out kind of as I'm giving my spiel. Basically what this is we're going to do kind of an interactive creative exercise that requires you guys to walk through kind of the creative, build your own creative, and then ultimately vote on the winning creative. So if you guys could fill that out now, that would be great. So Andrew kind of touched on this a little bit earlier, but what we do creatively is we aim to create a personalized creative experience for each individual that's watching our ads, right? So how we do that is we are tailoring our creative to be a one-to-one experience for these individuals. So if we look at this creative, we can see that we have 4 different demographics. They're all different ages, all different sex. They're all coming from different walks of life. And what we have the ability to do is select inventory that's specific to them, to our viewers, change the content so it's relevant to those viewers, and then optimize the creative so that we know what's working and what's not working. And we feel like those 3 pieces is that integral workforce that allows us to really connect with those viewers and drive performance in the creative. So Andrew, if you could go to the next slide. So here's kind of an example of how our creative is really modular and how it works to change to an individual. We have this modular structure to creative where we can literally break down each scene in a spot, create alternate versions of those scenes, and then direct them towards that actual demographic and that target market that we're trying to select. So if we have a 28-year-old male who is in New Orleans or Orland Park in this example, we're giving them a specific message to their location. We're giving them, a price and item for that specific, in this case it's Maxwell House. We're talking about, a different effect that the coffee has, and then we're driving them to their current location. Andrew, if you can go to the next one. But for a different individual, this person's in a new town, they get a different call out, they're getting a different benefit message for that coffee, and we're driving them to a different location. And these scenes that we're creating, they can be prescribed to a specific individual, or we can test against that individual. So we can either tailor that creative specifically to an audience if we know that there's information that's going to resonate, or we can take a scene like a map or like a benefit scene, and we can test multiple different versions of those and swap those out to really find out what's actually resonating with that group. So what this is kind of just a layout of the different solutions and the different ways, the different types of scenes that we can use to engage with these viewers. So whether we're talking about recipes, day parting messages, changing the messaging for the different time of day, a breakfast message, lunch message, dinner message, reviews from different products, things like that. Environmental data, where we're actually scraping information in real time from weather.com for a situation like if we're doing a project for, say, McCormick and we want to push grilling for the weekend. If we know it's going to be a beautiful weekend near you, we can give you your weekend forecast and kind of drive you to your local store to get that. Versus if it's going to be rainy, we'll turn that off and you won't get that ad for the weekend. So there's a lot of different ways and a lot of different solutions that we can pull into our creative to make it stickier, to resonate with that viewer. So if you can go to the next slide. Our creative process is pretty involved. What we do is each campaign that we get, we try to understand what the goal is and the KPI, the measurement for that specific campaign. We'll take a brand asset if you have it, and we'll work within your brand guidelines and make sure that whatever we're adding to your creative is an extension of what you already have. We're going to concept and create that story. We're going to design those scenes to match your creative. And then we have a whole suite of post-production tools that we can use to make sure that that's embedded in a seamless transition in your creative. So sound design, live action, animation. We have a full creative team, very talented designers, animators that can make that happen and make it a seamless experience. So this is just an example of the 3 different types of styles of animation and live action that we work in. We can work with your brand asset. We can create something completely from stock footage or do a live shoot, or we can do a build from scratch, motion graphics, animation-based content. Again, everything is going to be tailor-made to your brand, to the client, to whatever that goal is, to make sure that it's a real extension of their creative. This is a concept matrix. This is how we lay out modular structure to storytelling. So if you look at this here, we have, our example is Hulu. This is work that we did for a Hulu pitch where Hulu had 4 pillars of what they were trying to push out in terms of advertising to their audiences. They were really pushing live TV. They have a suite of Hulu originals. They have really popular shows that they know resonate with viewers. And they have add-ons like HBO and Showtime and things like that. So these are these 4 pieces of the creative that they're really trying to push, which is a really hard thing to pull into one specific creative. So what we have to do is we break down the storyline so that we have alternate paths that we can take. We add a regional message in the beginning to align to that viewer, so whatever city that viewer is in, the copy is going to change. They have this ad campaign about ruining TV because Hulu's so great. So we introduce the city into that copy as well. We're going to ruin TV for you, New York. We're going to ruin TV for you, Los Angeles. So immediately the viewer sees that and identifies. Then we have this ability to pull in the options of live TV, original, popular, add-ons. And that's backed up by actual imagery and footage. And then we have calls to action on the end that we're actually testing. Different offers, who's resonating with what. So Andrew, if you can go to the next slide. So after we kind of lock that in, we have that discussion with the client and we physically map everything out and design every single aspect of the video that could be modular, it could rotate. So now you actually see what it could look like in video. If you're going to the live TV, you're getting examples of news, sports, things like that. And you really get to understand how that story is going to change and visually what it's going to look like. So this is the process that we're going to be talking about today. Looking at audiences, understanding how do I resonate with that viewer? What can I change about the story that's going to allow it to be a modular story that will align to one audience and then also can change quickly, dynamically, immediately, and resonate with another audience. So Craig is going to walk us through how we start that process. And what we do is we really are trying to understand the needs of the client. That's where it all starts, with the brief. Understanding who they are, what their needs are, and how we can accommodate our creative to build out an advanced structure like this that will change and adapts to the audiences. So Craig's going to take it away.
All right, so we're going to talk about the brief, as Cortland just walked you through. We have this really awesome, nuanced, advanced storytelling type of creative. It's very cool. It's different. I think that's probably what makes me most excited about it. You want to come up? Alexa, everybody. Alexa Weeks. Yeah. On your table, there should be a pile of papers, I believe. If you guys have those, please access those. And Fox, if you want to go to the next slide. Awesome. So what you have here is the creative brief. I also call this my jumping off point. And this is going to give you basically all the information that you would need to compile your creative. Everything up top, starting with brand background, mission. Molly, thank you for quoting me directly off of this brief. I'm glad I got the information right. Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate it. But if you go through this is basically all the information that you would need from the brand to understand, their go-forward approach in terms of what they're trying to accomplish. And then when you get a little bit further down, you're going to see some objectives, what your target audience is. That's going to be reflective of the personas, which you will see on each table, I believe. We're going to do a little dress up here. And then your messaging strategy and what your content strategy really should be. So something I want to highlight, at the bottom of the brief, you'll see on your content strategy, what you want to focus on is the voiceover talent, the color schemes, the scenes with the volunteers, the actual program callouts, and the call to actions. You're going to be able to select each one of these things as you go through and put together your creative piece by piece. And then most importantly, this is just an example, so don't take it too seriously. Just have fun with it.
Okay, so I have the fun job. I got to go on Amazon and prime all of this to here in 2 days. So basically, these are our 4 target audiences. We have empty nesters, military, entertainers, and executives. We really want you guys to become one with all of them. So get all this stuff, put it on, because I fought hard to do candy and stuff, but they wanted you guys dressing up. So come on, everybody, get in costume. Caitlin, that means you put on a mustache. Get the pipe. Ben, I see you over there. Get a boa. We really want you guys to become one with these audiences, because the next part, you're going to build the ad to align with them.
All right, guys, now for the main event. What you're going to do here after everyone's all dressed up and ready to go, you're going to create your own personalized video. So as referenced before, I talked you through the brief, which you have in front of you. Please use that as your guide. And use your persona. And then you're going to go through, there are some links. There should be, links available on everyone's MacBook on their table to please go through and fill out the form. You'll be able to select from GIFs that Cortland has prepared for us. And literally, piece by piece, put together your actual video creative, which will result in an ad. If you have any questions, please ask us.
Hey, Cortland, before these guys jump in and do the exercise, maybe you can give us a little bit of context on how it came to this point. Like, what is the existing asset? How did it all sort of materialize?
Absolutely. So right up here is what we're looking at here is the Big Brother, Big Sister creative that we started with. So basically, the content that we're looking at is, what if every child was given an opportunity? What if every child's potential was fulfilled? Kind of queuing up the idea that, we can really, influence these children and give them an opportunity to succeed. And if we did that, what would that start? We are also, the real point of this creative is to drive people to either donate their time or their money and to really get involved with this whole organization. So when we look at this creative, if you want to go to the next slide, basically what we're looking at here is how we're able to break this scene down and create different modular experiences with this ad. So what can we pull and what can we change from the creative content that might actually resonate with those audiences and those demographics that you guys are all representing, right? So when you're going through this form, you have the option to change the voiceover from male to female. You have the option to change the color scheme from purple and white, green and black, and pink and white. So these are branded colors that we found either in the asset or on the Big Brothers Big Sisters website. Now this fulfillment scene, which poses the question, what if every child's potential was fulfilled? We have an option to make it more awards-based, academic-based, arts-based, or sports-based, which you can see in your survey that you're filling out. And in the volunteer scene, where it poses the question, what would that start? And they're showing a volunteer. In the original asset, if you go back one slide, the volunteer scene is just showing one demographic of a woman probably in her 20s or 30s working with a kid, but now we have the option to skew that so that the viewer can possibly connect with this volunteer a little bit more. So we have a man in his 30s, a man 18 to 30, female 30 to 60, and female 18 to 30. So your job is to think about your target audience and who would they resonate in the story as the actual volunteer. Then in the donation message, in the original content, we're talking about donating time or money. In this situation, we want to think about our audience and think about what would be more appealing to this demographic. Are they going to want to just donate their money, or are they going to want to get involved? And then we added this scene to kind of talk about the actual specific programs that are being run with Big Brother, Big Sister. So what we have here is Bigs in Blue, which is an opportunity for police, seems like, to get involved in the community, children with military families, a school-based program, and a community-based program. So we have the option to choose one of these scenes to then populate the video. And then finally, we want to drive these people to engage, right? So we have these different options for CTAs. Each button is changing dynamically. You can choose either to donate, to learn more, to attend events that are happening for Big Brother, Big Sister, to download the app to find out more information, or to actually become a Big. So these are all of your options. So basically, we take this grid and you make a selection of these videos, and then it populates the video. Basically, we have almost 4,000 versions of this ad based on this grid. And based on your selection, you're going to get a very specific, personalized experience that reflects your own views. So now we can go through that process. So I encourage you guys to look at the different options, different scene types, look at your briefs, and really have a discussion with your table of which scene is actually going to work the best for your audience. So you guys are going to have a little bit of time now to go through, look at those, and make your selections. Okay, it seems like everybody's really involved in their personas right now, which is great. We need a spokesperson from each team. You don't have to come up here. You can speak from your table, but we do need you guys to think about who's gonna back up your guys' decision making for each table. This is I'm really leaning into my persona right now. So everybody choose one person from your table to represent the spokesperson and who's going to back up your creative decision making. And yeah, we'll get this thing going. Okay, so I just want to take this opportunity too right now while everybody's assigning who's going to speak for their table. I just want to give a shout out to Wendy Sue. She's our animator on the back end right now. She's not here right now. Thanks, Wendy. We love you. Right now, Wendy is rendering every creative that you guys built. She's aggregating all the data that you guys gave through those spreadsheets. She's the one that built all this tech on the back end, and we wouldn't be able to do it without her. So just know that there's a lot of people outside of this, simple and process that are working really hard to make sure that this happens for this event. So I just wanted to give a shout out to them. Okay, so right now, everybody should have received an email with the voting. So if you guys could pull out your email, we are going to walk through the creative that you guys built, and we're going to have a representative from your table to talk through why you guys made that selection and kind of make your case for your video and why it should be the winner. We're going to watch the video, and then everybody will have an opportunity to vote. If the emails didn't go through, if there's any issues, raise your hand and we'll allow you guys to vote on the desktop. But try to get it through your email so we can have more voices behind this thing.
The winning video team gets a really awesome prize, right?
Super awesome.
Super awesome. Really cool. Wendy on the back end is still making magic happen. So that means I get to talk. And we have some really cool LVIMA updates. The first one is everybody's favorite event, Digital Technology and Planning Day, is coming up August 1st. We did something really special for everybody here, and we opened up RSVPs today just for you guys. So you can go to levima.com /events and RSVP and make sure you're in for Digital Planning Day. We have a surprise announcement about it later too, just for you guys. And then the other, feedback. The other cool special request from us is we also just opened up our member survey. We do this about every other year, and it's really beneficial and important data for us. Remember in the beginning I said that LVIMA is for you, and we create these events for you, and we want to make sure that what we're creating and the content we're providing resonates and is something that you want and need. So literally, I timed it. This survey takes 5 minutes to complete, and it gives us a lot of really great information and helps us craft events in support of you guys. So if you go to levima.com, the link, you'll see these awesome cows. Ben thought they looked curious. So because we're curious about you. So click on the cows, take 5 minutes, take the survey. Everybody who takes the survey is going to be entered to win your choice of tickets to a show of your choice or a Vegas Golden Knights game.
All right, so as we get back into this and team leaders or table spokespeople are getting their thoughts together, we're gonna take you through, so where's Lexa? Lexa is hiding. She doesn't want to do this part. So I'll take over for her. This campaign is currently in flight. This campaign is over, potentially. How did it perform, right? So there's a whole measurement component of what this actually turns into that determines the success of the campaign. So if you wouldn't mind taking the next slide. It's awesome, you guys. With a $100,000 spend, we were able to drive an 8.2 to 1 return. So we were able to get Big Brothers Big Sisters $800,000 with an average donation of $50. So these are the types of metrics that we provide to you guys when you run campaigns with us. Okay, and the next slide. From a creative perspective, you all made selections based upon your target audience, right? But like we discussed at the beginning, when you walk into Starbucks, every person is different. So it's important to realize that even though you may be a military person, you may not respond to the ad that you guys created, right? So it's important to understand that there's that modular component. So of the military selections, there are 3. And so maybe selection A will resonate, maybe selection B will resonate, maybe selection C will resonate. So ultimately what happens is the video engine on the back end, the optimization engine, the technology behind this entire solution is looking at who's donating and who's responding. So from a performance perspective, if you're trying to drive bookings for your hotel, or if you're trying to drive people into your restaurant, or if you're trying to get somebody to buy something, right? Having that connection point between the media, the creative, and the actual measurement, what's happening at the end, is the most important thing. So which elements of the creative are responding to which audience groups, and how do we optimize the creative to get the most amount of green boxes that we can? So some will under-index, some will over-index, and ultimately we'll have, from the modular components, areas in red that we'll need to work on to say, okay, maybe we should adjust these scenes or adjust these creatives. And then areas in green where we're saying, okay, this is responding and performing really well. In addition to having a creative optimization lens, we also have an engagement lens, right? So when creative is personalized and it speaks to somebody at that individual level, there is magic that happens, right? It's not a blanket ad that's going out to a ton of people. Every piece of creative is individualized, so it doesn't feel necessarily like an ad, or that ad feels more like content. And I think because there's a dismal number that's out there that says everybody hates advertising, it's important to really kind of connect with your target audience and get them to feel something and get them to respond. And when we know a lot about that target, we're able to customize a creative to do that. So you can see from an engagement perspective, this is somebody who's landing on a homepage, right? And the gray box represents all people who land, and the blue box represents people who've seen an iView ad. So you can see like a ton of people are landing, but then there's a ton of drop-off, right? And it's on both sides until we get to page 5, when we see the iView viewer actually more engaged. And that's because of that personalization. They're looking at more pages, they're converting more, and they're responding better. All right, so if measurement is important and measuring success is important, how do we actually measure success, right? Holy shit, there's a lot of ways, right? Like, what do I choose? What is my client used to? What is the right way to do it for video? When you think about video versus display, there's a very big difference, right? Display you can buy for pennies and get millions of impressions. Video is expensive. And so it's really important to understand the types of frequency that exists for video versus display. So display, the average frequency is what, between 30 and 40 a month per user, right? With video, it's between 1 and 4. So we're talking a lot less volume, right? So if you have a lot less volume and you're paying a lot of money, do you want to have the biggest impact? And I would assume the answer is yes, right? So how do we measure? There's lots of different ways. If you have CRM, you can use that, right? If you have, what iView does a lot is we do a lot of test versus control. So we will actually take 10% of a media buy and put it towards a PSA. And that normalizes for everything that's running in the space. It normalizes for search, it normalizes for display. It assumes everybody gets the same media except the iView component, right? And then that actually gives us an incrementality number as well, which is kind of cool. And then there's like the Google 360 or DCM, last touch, last click, first touch, multi-touch, time decay, incrementality, site visitation rate, so that's that deep engagement rate and how many unique site visitors are going to the site. But then there's also foot traffic, and you can actually measure with MasterCard. So if you don't have a direct attribution partner, you can actually employ MasterCard and do some modeling from that perspective. And they do both e-commerce and offline measurement. Then there's Nielsen MBI, Nielsen Buyer Insights. and they measure retail, but they can also do e-com as well as offline. Catalina, IRI, and RSI are all third-party measurement solutions for CPG. And then there's, of course, brand studies. And I think it's really important to understand when you're running a brand study, specifically for video, the type of brand study that you run is the most important thing that you can choose. Because if you run a display unit, it's disjointed with the video. So what you want to do is run an email brand study. You know, somebody who's seen the video and then you send an email within 24 hours. So there's some engagement there. So there's a lot to digest here, obviously, right? And there's a lot to unpack. But as you think about your own businesses, how are you determining success? And how are you looking at video? Are you looking at video from a completion rate perspective? Because if you are, you know there's the ability to force complete, right? So what prevents a publisher from buying only force complete inventory, right? So the reason why iView exists is to drive performance for advertisers, is to drive that unique site visitation, but ultimately to drive action, ROAS, CPA, those types of things. So I think I may have vamped long enough. Are we ready to vote? Are you guys ready? Let's do it. Okay. Perfect. Military A. Where's Military A?
Military A, Team
Come
Bravo.
on up. Or you can stand right there, whatever you want to do.
Hello, coming to you from Team Bravo, aka Military A.
Woo! So this is the video that they created.
What if every child was given an opportunity? What if every child's potential was fulfilled? What could that start? Donate to help Big Brothers Big Sisters today. Find out how you can help by visiting mentorvegas.com today.
If you can just state your name and then why you chose what you chose.
Hello, my name is Amy. Again, Team Bravo. Woo. So we went with the color scheme to go with a more masculine feel along with the male voiceover because we were trying to reach a military audience and the majority of those individuals are male. We went with a little bit older in terms of the video content because we were thinking that retirees would have the most time and resources available and have more commitment to their community who would be then willing to donate their time and or resources to Big Brothers Big Sisters. We went with the awards for the background because that's the military way. That's how you're rewarded and move up through the program, so we thought it would resonate with that audience. Mentoring families of children of military families obviously made sense and aligned with that as well, as we were focusing more on retirees to like connect with the next generation. And then we went with a Learn More CTA so that it was a little bit of a softer message because this is a heartstrings campaign, right? Big Brothers Big Sisters is not a hard attack in terms of a call to action. We're trying to connect with people on a personal level, so we didn't want to have them end the campaign with anything that was too aggressive. We wanted it to be soft and something that they could connect with.
Awesome. Good job. All right, let's move on to the next one. Everyone's done voting on that one? All right, the next one is Cortland, if you will. Empty Nesters A, where are you?
What if every child was given an opportunity? What if every child's potential was fulfilled? What could that start? Donate to help Big Brothers Big Sisters today. Find out how you can help by visiting mentorvegas.com today.
Woohoo! All right, why did you guys choose what you chose?
Well, we are crusty and rusty, and we've been around the block a lot. We've got, we're appealing to empty nester females who also have the ability to influence their male companions. But we wanted to take the approach of you've got time, give back, teach the younger generation what you've learned, expose them to experiences they might not have the opportunity to do otherwise. We chose the color scheme. I thought blue hair, but we didn't have blue, so we chose lavender, which also happens if you rinse with the wrong color. No, I'm kidding. We took that softer approach, using pastels, using the female images with the voiceover to appeal to the more mature females.
Awesome. Let's vote. All right. Let's go on to Entertainers A.
What if every child was given an opportunity? What if every child's potential was fulfilled? What could that start? Donate to help Big Brothers Big Sisters today. Find out how you can help by visiting mentorvegas.com today.
Well done, you guys. Why these selections?
Check, check. We are under his eye view.
He gets something extra for that.
So, representing the entertainers audience, we wanted to appeal to a younger female demographic, which is why we went with a purple color scheme. And understanding that entertainers have this wildly unpredictable schedule, we felt that in order to connect with their communities, having the Donate Now CTA as opposed to Donate Time would give them the ability to connect while not feeling too constricted by time and having to move around their schedules. What am I missing, team? It's a team effort. Anything? Anyone else? I think we're good.
All right, let's vote. Empty Nesters B.
What if every child was given an opportunity? What if every child's potential was fulfilled? What could that start? Donate to help Big Brothers Big Sisters today. Find out how you can help by visiting mentorvegas.com today.
Awesome. Why did you guys choose what you chose?
Well, hello, everyone. We are from the fabulous Fun Team. Woo! We just don't need an explanation of how fun we are. Hello. We were targeting empty nesters, and we would have preferred the VO to be a little more of a Morgan Freeman kind of vibe. But, this was our option. But just think of it as Morgan Freeman because we wanted it to become from like a wise person to attract other wise people. We chose the pink to be both soft without aggressive and catch attention on a web page. We chose the academic route because academics touches everyone. We chose the more mature lady as she appeals more to empty nesters as she's in the same age group. We mixed volunteers with the male and female for a little diversity. And then, there's a typo. We chose the Learn More button as like a soft ask to get them more intrigued to go to our website. So that was us. Please come and learn more and join the Fun Team.
Okay. Let's move on to Entertainers B.
What if every child was given an opportunity? What if every child's potential was fulfilled? What could that start? Donate to help Big Brothers Big Sisters today. Find out how you can help by visiting mentorvegas.com today.
All right. Our first attend events call to action. Okay.
This is team, it's Britney, bitch.
Oh, a little mic drop. All right.
Well, hey, it's entertainers. And again, we chose female to go with the pink because they are more persuasive when it comes to engaging people. We chose an older demographic because they have the more time and resources, the art theme, and we chose attend events because when people show up in the spotlight, there's the opportunity not only to recruit people to donate time, money, step up to volunteer, it puts Big Brothers Big Sisters in the spotlight. So that's what entertainers do. They're in the spotlight. And that's our story.
All right. Good job, you guys. Let's vote. All right, let's go with executives B.
Executives B.
What if every child was given an opportunity? What if every child's potential was fulfilled? What could that start? Donate to help Big Brothers Big Sisters today. Find out how you can help by visiting mentorvegas.com today.
Well done. Well done. All right. Why these selections?
All right, so we chose this black and green background because we're gearing towards executives and they understand the color green, you know? Our messages focus towards the executives going on. We want to focus on the educational side of for that surrounding logo, just to show that's how they can get to that future. An exec will see that. They'll understand how they can get a little brother, a little sister to that point just by being around them, focusing on education. All right, we focused on the donate messaging just because it was an open-ended, donate your time, donate your money, doesn't make a difference. And for an exec, they have the money to donate, so it felt like a natural decision.
Awesome. Great job, you guys. All right, let's vote. Cortland, are we good on executives A? Yeah! Go Wendy! Okay, executives A. Let's take a look.
What if every child was given an opportunity? What if every child's potential was fulfilled? What could that start? Donate to help Big Brothers Big Sisters today. Find out how you can help by visiting mentorvegas.com today.
All right. Let's hear about it.
That's right. We are Team 2 Chains because we understand all this money. That's right. So we chose the purple creative specifically because it's on brand for Big Brothers Big Sisters, as well as, they understand green, of course, too, and pink was a lot of pink. So purple was a nice middle of the road there. We chose these kind of accolades here because it could serve both for graduation and achieving those educational goals or participation in extracurriculars. After that, we chose older male because there's a lot of older male executives until females have a few more years to break through that glass ceiling. Just saying. The community-based message, of course, just works because even executives are part of that community. As well as we did donate time beforehand, knowing that we were going to choose donate money as the final CTA, so we could kind of instill some guilt if you don't have that time, because executives are busy, but priority number one of the brief is to get volunteer signups. But of course, money is easier for the executives, so we had that be the final CTA. Team 2 Chains out.
Well done. Well done. So as you can see, there's a lot that goes into not only the creative matrix, so when we are constructing a campaign, whether it's a performance campaign or a hyper-local branding campaign, we are truly looking to understand who that audience is, and then what we say to them becomes super important. So is everybody hit submit on their voting form? That will actually then flow back through to Wendy. And she is going to be tallying the votes on the back end. So I'm just going to go table by table just to see. Have you guys submitted all your votes? Have you guys submitted all your votes? Yes. Have you? Yes. Back there. Submitted? Over here? Submitted? Yeah? Submitted? Awesome. All right, cool. So before I hand it back over to Brandy to announce the winner, and Caitlin, wherever she is, who's going to obviously share some announcements with you. I just want to give a big shout out to LVIMA, to Brandy, to Lynn, to Chris, and the entire board for helping us construct this event. Hopefully you guys had fun, and you got to learn a little bit about video and personalization and how it all comes together and what the measurement components are and why it's important. And not only that, but I did want to give a huge shout out to Audrey Marco, who's not here today. Audrey kept us on track at in fact, during the event, she was making sure we were still on track. So a huge shout out to Audrey for pulling all of this together. Also a huge shout out to our team, to Cortland, to Craig, to Lexa.
Praise be.
Yeah, to Caitlin, and to our entire executive leadership who fully supported us doing this with you guys. This is the first time we've ever done something like this, and was new technology on the back end and lots of moving pieces, but we were able to pull it together. So thank you to LVIMA, Brandy, Lynn, Chris, everybody, and thanks, you guys. All right, back to you.
Woo! So, like Andrew said, myself, Andrew, Cortland, we get to stand up here and look fabulous. But there are a ton of people behind the scenes helping to make us look fabulous. So give another round of hand for iView. This room is gorgeous. Big thank you to the team at SLS, all the servers, people who put out the tables. Our video and tech people they had a lot of tech to work with. And they did amazing. Our video guys, Team Aardvark, they rocked it. And last but not least, our board members. They are total rock stars behind the scenes. Chris was on every single call for us with 3 months working with iView. Ben was here until about midnight last night, helping the video equipment get set up. Autumn's at our door. Lonnie and Lauren, they are our chief happiness officers. So big thank you to everybody who makes this possible. And remember I said I had a digital planning, technology and planning day sneak peek surprise for you guys? So we just confirmed last night that Brian Killingsworth, the CMO of the Vegas Golden Knights, is going to be one of our keynote speakers at Digital Technology and Planning Day. And he is really fun to listen to. So RSVP, are we ready to announce the winner?
We are ready to announce the winner.
All right. Molly, Caitlin. All right. Oh.
Recount. We need a recount.
So while she does that, we have one other winner. If you read our emails, you know if you RSVP'd, you are entered to win show tickets of your choice at the Smith Center. And our winner is, drumroll, Tammy Belt. So see me afterwards for show tickets. You ready? Yeah.
Okay, so our prize for Executive B, everybody stand up. This is big.
What if every child was given an opportunity? What if every child's potential was fulfilled? What could that start? Donate to help Big Brothers Big Sisters today. Find out how you can help by visiting mentorvegas.com today.
Awesome job, you guys.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
So who's Executive B? For the love of God, she's standing up for your table.
I would too if I were her.
Okay. Great job, you guys. Okay, so on behalf, the big prize is that you are going to be making a donation to Big Brothers Big Sisters of $200 that iView is actually paying for, so don't worry. So that's one big prize. And the second big prize is everyone is going to be getting a $10 gift card for Starbucks. So you can go and get a personalized coffee. So congratulations, great job. Did you all have a lot of fun? Great. And I just want to say, just real quickly, thank you so much for inviting us to come to this event. It's something Andrew has been talking about for years. He's so looked forward to this. I want to thank everybody that came from iView and collaborated on this. So just thanks so much for hosting us.